Massive hemoptysis occurs when a patient coughs up more than 300 cubic centimeters of blood in a 24-hour period. At this volume, the immediate threat to survival is asphyxiation, not blood loss. Hunting for the source of this bleed requires a different strategy than trauma imaging. Unlike gastrointestinal or peripheral arterial bleeds, active contrast extravasation is rarely visible during lung angiography. This diagnostic difficulty creates a conflict over the first line of treatment. While pulmonologists often favor immediate bronchoscopy, the interventional radiology standard is endovascular embolization. Standard interventional protocols for pulmonary bleeding contain hidden variables. Applying them incorrectly can lead to permanent paralysis or a total failure to stop the hemorrhage. Successfully intervening in massive hemoptysis requires navigating strict anatomical limits and identifying life-threatening infectious mimics. Statistically, 90% of massive hemoptysis cases originate from the high-pressure systemic bronchial circulation rather than the pulmonary circulation. Consequently, bronchial artery embolization, or BAE, serves as the primary endovascular procedure. The physiological goal of BAE is to reduce the arterial pressure head to stop the bleed, while maintaining enough flow to prevent distal tissue death. Maintaining this balance requires the use of highly specific embolic agents and absolute adherence to vascular boundaries. Success relies on a precisely calibrated reduction of pressure. Improper technique carries severe clinical consequences. Since active contrast extravasation is typically invisible, finding the culprit vessel requires searching a specific thoracic grid. This X-ray demonstrates the primary landmark for the search, the radiolucency of the left main bronchus. This airway landmark corresponds to a specific spinal coordinate. The primary target zone for the search is the T5 to T6 vertebral level. At this coordinate, the most common vascular pattern consists of an intercostobronchial trunk on the right and two distinct bronchial arteries on the left. Because the bleeding is hidden, the operator must identify a morphological change in these targeted branches. Severe vessel enlargement and high tortuosity, a spiraling, twisted appearance, serve as the definitive proxies for active bronchial hemorrhage. Procedural success depends on recognizing this pattern of tortuosity at the T5-T6 level, rather than waiting for an active arterial blush to appear. Once the target is identified, the protocol for bronchial artery embolization mandates the use of large particulate agents. These particles must be greater than 350 micrometers in size, with an ideal deployment range between 350 and 500 micrometers. This sizing ensures the particles lodge proximally to slow the blood flow, while remaining too large to penetrate deep enough to cause distal tissue infarct. This physics-based requirement leads to an absolute contraindication. Metallic coils must never be used in standard bronchial artery embolization. If a coiled vessel rebleeds through collateral branches later, the physical coil blocks any future catheter access, permanently jailing out the operator from the vessel. Deploying coils in a standard bronchial procedure trades immediate occlusion for long-term procedural paralysis, leaving no options if the patient hemorrhages again. While occluding the target is necessary, the primary risk of the procedure is accidental spinal cord infarction. This catastrophic complication is caused by embolizing the anterior radiculomedullary artery, also known as the artery of Adam Ketkiech. This vessel provides the main blood supply to the anterior spinal cord, and most commonly branches from a left-sided posterior intercostal artery. Its origin point is typically lower than the bronchial target, situated between the T9 and T12 vertebral levels. Operators must look for its specific angiographic signature, a sharp 180-degree upward turn, known as the hairpin turn, where it merges with the anterior spinal artery. While usually left-sided, the artery can originate directly from the right bronchus in about 5% of cases. Embolizing this specific vessel, or positioning a catheter where embolic material can reflux into it, is strictly forbidden. A successful bronchial intervention is defined by avoiding the T9-T12 hairpin turn, just as much as it is by occluding the T5-T6 bleeder. A standard BAE protocol will fail in one specific clinical scenario. It begins with a patient presenting with massive hemoptysis and a standard interventional workup. The operator reaches the T5-T6 target and performs the bronchial angiogram, but finding no tortuosity and no source of bleeding. Despite these negative imaging findings, the patient continues to hemorrhage uncontrollably. Clinical history often provides the explanation, specifically a record of chronic pulmonary infection. Tuberculosis is the classic culprit. In a clinical setting, this is often indicated by a positive PPD test. A PPD test, or purified protein derivative test, is a skin diagnostic used to determine if a patient has been infected with the bacteria that cause tuberculosis. A negative bronchial angiogram in a patient with tuberculosis indicates that the operator is looking at the wrong circulatory system. When the bronchial tree is clear but tuberculosis is in the history, the operator must abandon the systemic circulation and pivot to a pulmonary artery angiogram. This reveals the actual target, the Rasmussen aneurysm. Chronic tuberculosis destroys local lung tissue, weakening vessel walls and creating a pseudoaneurysm directly on a pulmonary artery branch. Treating this lesion requires a total reversal of standard rules. The operator must use coil embolization. The Rasmussen aneurysm is the singular, highly testable exception to the mandate against using coils for hemoptysis. Coils are effective here because packing this distal pulmonary pseudoaneurysm stops the hemorrhage without jailing out critical collateral systems. This procedural hierarchy ensures that operators default to the bronchial system with particles while protecting the spinal cord, only pivoting to the pulmonary artery and coils when tuberculosis and negative bronchial imaging dictate it.